Hello everyone, welcome to This Day. It is Wednesday, September 3rd. I'm your host, Bree Cox-Kennedy. It is Wednesday, so typically I have a handoff. Michael will come in on Thursdays, but I've got a surprise for you today because he's actually going to be here with us this morning on today's show. He's going to be here with Dean White of Caring Senior Service, always talking about the importance of having in-home care. And then later in the show, we've got ways to keep your mind sharp playing Scrabble. I've got Gary Moss here to tell us all about the game of Scrabble and how you can get involved. Let me keep you informed first. Just a reminder, folks, of the importance of being ready for emergencies. As we've learned in January, we never know when they're going to hit. So here in the village, that means having a go bag with all of your essentials. As part of the preparedness efforts, the Security Services Department will host a Good Neighbor Captain meeting on Tuesday, October 7th from 10 a.m. to noon at Clubhouse 2. This program helps residents look out for one another during emergencies, and we are all welcome to learn more by calling 949-597-4237, or you can also email them at disasterprep@vmsinc.org. Together, we can keep Laguna Woods Village safe, concerned, and resilient. Let's take a look at our 5-day beautiful forecast, folks. We'll see a bright, warm day today, highs of 88, lows 69. Continued sunshine through Thursday with those highs staying in the upper 80s. So make sure you keep your sunscreen handy. By the weekend, things will take a softer turn. Friday starts with morning clouds giving way to pleasant sun. Only a high of 82 as we drop down toward a high of 78 on Saturday. Then it looks like we're going to head right back on up into the 80s with lots of sun there on Sunday. So just keep a light jacket, sunscreen around, and head off to the beach. Sunrise this morning was at 6:26 a.m. Sunset will be at 7:13 p.m. Beautiful little bee doing his job, pollinating that flower sent in to us by Ellie Silverberger. Sorry if I'm butchering your name, but gorgeous photo nonetheless. Rogers Gardens in Newport Beach. Thank you for sending that. If you'd like to send us your photos, please do so. Please email those to us at lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. Please send us your name, where the photo was taken from, and in a horizontal format, please. Got just one meeting to share with you today. After the break, Caring Senior Service. Stay with us.
Caring Senior Service provides a variety of care services to help seniors age in place. To learn more about how we can help your family, contact us today.
We're in a kind of a living room setting, a home setting, and that's a great place to talk to Dean White from Caring Senior Service about in-home care for seniors.
That's right, that's right. Hey, Michael, good to see you again.
Good to see you again.
It's always good to be back here at Laguna Woods
Absolutely.
TV.
And thank you for coming in. Let's talk a little bit about what Caring Senior Service does, just for folks who may not be familiar with your product.
Yeah, the biggest thing that we provide, I think, is peace of mind. Mm-hmm. It's a time that mom and dad are starting to struggle a little bit. Either there's dementia, they have fallen, they might have some not only forgetful things, but there also might be some physical things. And we provide a caregiver that comes in and restores life. And I know I say that in a grandiose way, but it's really true. Mm-hmm. We have people who are just getting through life, and then we bring a caregiver, and now they can go back to what they're used to doing, or go back to the grocery store, get back into activities. It brings not only some more life in that person that that we're bringing caregiving to, but also brings peace of mind to the kids.
Mm-hmm. Now, some people might call and they say, well, so why should we call? Why should we call this and get this service in the house? One way, and it seems strange, you're hiring a service on, but it could save you money in the long run, right?
Oh, it definitely can. So let's say that you're not calling anybody, and you're just taking a risk, and somebody falls and slips and hits their hip.
Right. Now you're calling the fire department, you have an ambulance ride, and all those kinds of things, right?
And you do. And then you have to change the house to better somebody to move around. Now we're looking at longer care, longer hours, versus if we just had somebody there 4 hours a day or 8 hours a day, you could have, make sure that they're not slipping and falling. Also, that's a good point that I just thought of. I go in the house and I take a quick look around and I'll say, okay, we need to remove the loose rugs. We need to add a little stool in the shower. Where can I get this deal? Let me show on Amazon. And that's all free. And so there's a lot of things that we can do that's preventative is what I'm saying.
Right, so the preventative things, they head off those kind of emergency calls and those kind of services where it's like you just get hit with a bill and there's no shopping around, there's no looking for the best kind of deal, so to speak.
Yes, and I mean, I mentioned a fall like a hip, but some falls are even worse. Sometimes people fall and break a nose or even worse,
serious head injury, things like that.
Yes, and then the other one is when we have a caregiver, the caregiver goes in and takes notes, and we're reading the notes of what's happening. We might be able to see something that's happening in that person's life and inform the kids that they don't even know that's starting to occur. And so if we're able to ward off something that is coming around the corner and prevent it now, then that saves a lot of pain and suffering and cost as well.
And another reason to call is just so people know other options. Like, what do you provide? What can we get? And during your assessment, what do you think we need?
It's really true. When I go into a house, it's a free assessment. We talk about the needs that somebody may have, talk about the regular schedule they have, and we talk about what are they used to doing? Are they sleeping during the night? And there is a way to look at the costs and mitigate it. One of the ways is if you're a vet, and we've talked that before. So if you're a veteran, we're one of the few companies in Orange County that are approved with the VA that we can help with vets. Another way, they might have long-term care, but they don't know who to do and how to call them, et cetera. And I just had an appointment last week that I said, hey, let's just call your long-term care together. And the daughter kept saying, oh my gosh, we have the right guy. Because I asked all the questions that somebody may not know to ask. And one of them is, does this also come with respite? And then the family goes, well, what's respite? Well, it's a part of your policy that they can give some other hours for the family to have a break, and it's covered in your policy, but unless you ask, they're not going to tell you.
Now, it's not always the people who need the services that call. A lot of times it's the children of these folks or family relatives that say, hey, it's mom and dad are needing some help here, right? So you also get some peace of mind in that area too.
100%. And we get a lot of family members that live in a different state. Here, their mom or dad live in Laguna Woods, but they live in Idaho or Arizona or even across the country. We get to be their channel. And so they get to hear daily what's going on with mom and dad, or weekly if they're in their weekly, and they get to get a better pulse of what's going on, and that gives them a big peace of mind. I also go in there and I say, okay, the house needs to be suited with cameras in some situations and how to do that, and other times it's something that the parents have been fixing over and over again that just needs to be replaced.
Now, sometimes there's resistance from the people that are having the caretaker come into their home. Hey, I want my privacy, I want my independence, and how do you kind of overcome that struggle?
Yeah, that is such a present problem often. I'm not sure if I want somebody in here. No, we take it slow. One of the ways is that we start with a short shift and get used to having somebody there. But the other one is, if you don't like the caregiver, we simply switch them with somebody else. Now, if you went to Facebook and decided to hire a caregiver and go through the trouble and getting somebody there to save a couple of bucks, you might be able to get a good one, but now it might be tough if they're not the right one to let them go. And where this one, I manage it all. We're bringing the right caregiver for you.
Okay. Now, whether it's you or another service, or if people are shopping around for multiple services, what are some of the questions they should be asking of you to kind of vet and figure out if this is the right service and fit?
100%. I feel like this is the moment that I feel like everybody should be taking a notepad down and saying, okay, these are the questions I should ask.
Okay.
The first one is, of course, what is your hourly rate? Is there an overtime charge? What other charges might be considered hidden? You know, with mine, there's no sign-up fee, there's no service fee, but many companies have both of those. If you, what other fees do you have besides the hourly? And they might say a transportation fee, and that might charge for mileage. You really want somebody that just has a straight-through billing that's clean. So one of them is the pricing. The other one is how flexible are you on the hours? The big one is, are the caregivers background checked?
Right.
And are you fully insured, and are you fully bonded? So any legal company is going to be fully insured and bonded, so that if something goes missing or broken, you know, we get to replace that. And so, but the big one is, do they have enough caregivers that we could take a caregiver that shows up and might do a great job, but may not be the right personality fit, then we switch them for somebody else.
Okay. And there's a variety of things that your caregivers can do, including meal prep and taking folks to medication, getting their medications, taking them to appointments, right? There's kind of a potpourri of things that you can people can choose from on what they're based on their needs, right?
Very much so. So a lot of our caregivers will take their client to the doctors, take notes within the doctor visit, send those notes to the office and home, so they know, you know, what's going, so the kids know what's going on. Also, it's nice to have somebody take notes, because you don't always remember what the doctor says. But also meal prep, you know, preparing them breakfast, lunch, dinner. Also, you know, doing some light house cleaning. This morning, Anna showed up over at Carol's house and took her dogs for a walk, because that's the first thing that needs to happen. So the dogs went for a walk, and now she'll come back, prepare Carol a little breakfast and coffee, and then clean up the kitchen and clean up one room, and then get Carol ready for the shower. And as she's in the shower, she's going to strip the bed. She's going to get her sheets starting to get washed. Then help Carol, you know, come out of the shower and get ready in the front room. Of course, have time with her dogs, and then start in a little bit on lunch. And then with also you know, watch her meds, give her meds, the right ones, so that we don't forget what meds to take. So that's just an example.
Right. How important is it to have the consistency of a caregiver in the home, that they can monitor changes, they can relate those changes to doctors, family, loved ones, and be able to help make decisions? Because something, hey, I think your dad needs to go to the dentist, or I think those kinds of things, something they see because they're there all the time.
It's very important. So an example, we have a client named Ken, and Ken is, we were there just 4 hours a day, but Ken is starting to diminish a little bit mentally as well as physically. And so we discovered that he had a UTI. And we told the family, and the family were like, thank you so much. They took him to the doctors, and sure enough, got him on some meds. Because anytime there's a UTI, it also equals delusion. And so delusion, confusion, everything else, you never know what's going on with mom or dad. Why are they angry, or why are they leaving the house and wandering?
Okay.
There's something going on, and it's usually an infection, either tooth or a lot of times a UTI. But kids aren't going to initially see that.
Right, and they're not going to be there to see that, hey, there's something going on today, there's something different, there's something off, right? And the people who are there daily and they're giving those reports, they're the ones to notice that and to kind of step in and intervene. How important is it for you to know that the people you screen, we'll come back to the folks in the house, are the professionals? They know what to look for, and you have them bonded. There's a security in that when you put someone in a house for someone's loved one.
Yeah, it's very, very important. We really want to make sure that they feel safe with this caregiver coming in. Now, especially when you're Laguna Woods, you don't want somebody just to knock on the door and say, hi, I'm your caregiver. You know, it's a little scary. Is it really my caregiver? It'd be better for it to have somebody that introduces them, that comes from a company that's reputable, that has been around for a number of years, where, you know, Caring Senior Service is in 18 different states, 60 different locations. And, you know, I own the one right here in Orange County. So we love Laguna Woods. And it is so important that not only do we have the right caregiver that's trained, we have over 200 courses online that we take our caregivers through, but that it's also the right match. And so somebody that just needs somebody to come by once a week for 4 hours to help with laundry, is different than somebody that might be bedbound that needs to be 24-hour care.
That's what I was going to say. Are there different levels of training that you have your folks do? Because there are certain people who, hey, this is a person who just kind of does a little meal prep and companion, cleans up a little bit, but then all the way to like really almost like nursing care.
100%, yeah. And that's really important as I meet with the family to then pick a caregiver that matches that need and that's been trained. And we have a lot of men and women that come in as caregivers. And you want to match that person up with the right, physical person too. So that, if they are strong enough to lift me.
I was going to say like a lifting an adult as opposed to just helping them in and out of rooms, or maybe they were pushing wheelchairs and having to load those into the cars, right?
Yes, we have everything from Christelle, who takes Kimiko to to get her nails done and get her hair done, and to somebody that is needing 24-hour care, and that we had, Nancy with Patricia, that is needing that care on a daily basis, and we had with Nancy and We Win, and they would be caring for Patricia on a regular basis, making sure that she had a daily bath, she got fed, she was changed, and that she was living in a very happy way.
There you go. People living in happy ways. That's what Dean White's all about from Caring Senior Service. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Michael.
You're watching This Day. We'll be right back.
When it comes to life's most important medical challenges, where do you go? Welcome to the Hoag Institutes. Our patient-centered approach to care is rooted in clinical excellence and guided by world-class teams. Unparalleled expertise, world-class care, all within the Hoag Institutes, right here in OC.
For over 20 years, Orange County has taken its unwanted gold, jewelry, timepieces, sterling silver, and coins to the Jewelry Box estate buyers and always received top dollar. Come see why for over 2 decades, Orange County has relied on the Jewelry Box estate buyers.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Today I am joined by Vice President Gary Moss of the Scrabble Club. He's not only going to share with us how to play the game, but why it makes our mind sharp and meet people and have fun.
Oh, that's the main
Right?
thing. You want to do something where you're having fun.
Gary, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
very
already
happy
having
to.
fun because you've already showed me how to play the game.
Yeah, and
Now it might take me 5 years to learn, but you've showed me how to play.
sometimes it's hard for me to believe that I've been doing this at this level for 40 years.
40. You know, I can totally see how it can be addicting.
You really get hooked on this once you
Yes.
get started. And I played Scrabble the first time back in 1952 with my mother when I was like 8, 9 years old. And it's a good tool to learn words. So if you have young kids or young grandkids and you want to play this with them, it's a way for you to connect, and it's wonderful.
Well, and I love that you are vice president of the Scrabble Club because it does keep the minds sharp, right?
It does.
It improves cognitive function and those skills.
There are basically 2 games that we have here in the village that really build memory and retention. One is Scrabble, and the other is Bridge. The Bridge Club has a huge number of people that come out. I'm not sure why people don't come out in droves to play Scrabble, but one of the things when I approach someone who hasn't played before, a lot of people will say, well, I'm not really good at spelling. And other people are just afraid of making a mistake and looking bad. But I'll tell you, I don't care, and the other players don't care if whatever level you're at.
Sure.
And by you taking the risk and playing, all that's going to happen is you're going to improve your memory.
Right.
And you're going to improve your word knowledge.
Because the brain is like any other muscle. If you're not using it, it's going to atrophy.
Absolutely. And most, not most, but many people who I meet here in the village, they're retired, they want to do something leisurely now. They don't want to really work at it at anything. But if you stop working at those things, then the atrophy sets in.
Right.
And, you know, you might have a great time doing whatever it is you do, but you do have, my belief is, you do have to keep challenging yourself.
I totally agree.
I learn words every time I play, even though I've been playing at this game for over 40 years.
Can you use the Scrabble dictionary while you're playing the game to find out if the word that you think is a word is a word?
Nope.
Or does that when the challenger come in?
Nope. This is the Scrabble Bible. Notice it's the 7th edition.
Wow.
So there have been many editions, and the Scrabble world adds and subtracts words about every 5 years.
Subtracts words. What if that was your word from 20 years ago?
Yeah.
And they take it away? That's not fair.
One good example of that is the word DA. Da. I don't know exactly what it means.
Okay,
but
we'll let that one go.
that was in the original dictionary. In the 80s, it was taken out. It was added back in the 90s.
that's funny.
It was taken out again, and now it's been added back in again.
Really?
That's sort of silly, but there's a word committee. And you know how committees work. They change their minds. And so we're at whatever the word committee decides. Now, this is a pretty big book.
That's intimidating, I
How
gotta
many
say.
words do you think are in here?
Oh, 70,000? I don't know.
170,000.
170,000.
Now, if you were to learn one word a day, every day, how long would it take you to to learn all 170,000 words?
Well, if your brain remembers all of them, right?
It would take you 465 years.
That's nothing.
No,
That's
we'll
nothing.
be around, right? The other thing is, how many words do you think the average person on the street knows?
Well, we kind of get into our little vocabulary rut, right? We keep saying the same ones over and over,
Well, sure, yeah.
right? But I don't know what that number would be.
The average guy on the street or gal on the street knows 5,000 words.
I think my dog knew more than that.
5,000 words is a small fraction of the words in this dictionary.
We need to start playing. So in order for people to start playing,
All
Gary?
you have to do is show up at one of the clubs. And we have 2 clubs here in the village. We have one club on Monday afternoon at 1 o'clock at Clubhouse 5. And you just walk in there and say, I'd love to play Scrabble. You don't even have to bring the Scrabble set with you.
Wow.
Because Clubhouse 5, the room where we play, we're equipped with about 25 sets.
oh goodness.
And we play 1 against 1, and the directors, let's say you don't even know how to play Scrabble. We'll teach you how to play Scrabble. And all you probably have to do is get a hold of one of these dictionaries. They sell them online and they sell them at the bookstore, and you're in business.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of business, I think it gets even deeper for you. You are representing the club at an upcoming tournament.
I am. I've played over 300 tournaments over my career of 40 years, and I also used to run tournaments. I created and ran 250 tournaments in my career, and this tournament I'll be playing in is nearby. It's in Long Beach, It's the weekend of September 27th. There'll probably be about 100 players there from all across the United States.
Is that right?
Scrabble players look at where these tournaments are and think nothing about traveling to a tournament. There are tournaments on cruise ships. There are tournaments in other countries all around the world. And as a result, I've made friends with these people I've met. And I have friends in South Africa, in Australia, in Israel, in Canada, wherever.
And do you travel internationally also to attend the tournaments, or do you
I've
stay
traveled
local?
mostly in the United States and Canada. I did play one tournament in Jerusalem years ago.
Really?
But that's my only international tournament. And most of the places I go to use the English dictionary. It's interesting that Israel uses the English dictionary, and so does Thailand.
Interesting.
Thailand uses the English dictionary. That's not their home language.
All right, Gary. Well, we encourage people to come down and learn how to play the game of Scrabble with you at the Scrabble Club. If people want to get a hold of you, can they call you?
Call me at 949-510-1673. Today happens to be a Wednesday while we're recording this. We also play every Wednesday evening at 5:15 at Clubhouse 7. So you can just show up there. Make
right,
it real
folks.
easy for you.
Gary, thank you so much. This has
Thanks.
been really fun. All right, folks, get on out there this afternoon. Coming up next, we'll take a look at the weekend movie preview. Stay with me.
Your eyes let you see the world, every smile, every sunset, every moment.
At Harvard Eye Associates, our team of specialists is here to protect your vision.
From cataracts and glaucoma to retina and cornea care, we offer the latest treatments with a compassionate touch.
For over 50 years, you've trusted us with your eyes. We're honored to care for them for years to come.
Harvard Eye Associates, the future of vision today.
At City of Hope, we're not just keeping pace with the latest in cancer research, we're leading the way. More than 2,000 cancer experts working as one to better every breakthrough, accelerate every innovation. With the most cancer-focused clinical trials in California, we're transforming discoveries into treatments at unprecedented speed. Because your future can't wait. And at City of Hope, it doesn't have to.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Let's take a look at the Friday night movie preview. It's The Natural, starring Robert Redford. That's a classic one that you guys are not going to want to miss. And then Saturday's movie is All the Pretty Horses. I haven't seen this one. I really want to. Looks amazing. Brought to us by Advanced Ear Care. That is going to do it for this episode of This Day. From all of us here, we wish yours a beautiful one, and we'll see you tomorrow.